players only meeting Sunday. Are those things helpful, do you think, or in the history of your teams?
Yeah, those guys, their day off is Sunday, so it's up to them and what they want to do with that. So, it means they're concerned and they care about what's going on. So.
How do you think they've responded mindset-wise?
They've had a good day Monday, Tuesday. Today's a big day for us, obviously, as we keep going. And we got Thursday and Friday, but Monday and Tuesday were good. So they're focused on. And when you play a team like Oklahoma, they're going to get your attention. So our guys were good both Monday and Tuesday. So we'll see how we continue to grow this week.
The offensive line was pretty good last year after Boss came back. What's kind of been going on that's been different? Obviously, you had a couple new guys.
We got some new guys in there, and I think that group has to play together. And I think we got some new players in there. And Alec didn't play in game 1, but played in game 2. Sean's played in his first few college football games. So just some guys getting their feet wet playing, and the longer they get reps and get a chance to play with each other, the better they have an understanding. The one thing was those other 4 guys played along until Boss came in game 4 and joined them. So, but Mike and Andre played on their side together, and Jake played with Chris. So, in any group, it's trying to get some continuity and get those guys to, make sure they're on the same page. So instead of having to talk about a look, they actually, kind of intuitively know what they're going to do to that look. So it's just a matter of repetitions and getting those guys quality reps against good opponents.
How's Al's doing right now?
Mike's still struggling with his back, so we'll see where he is, but he will not play this week.
What about Darnay?
Darnay's practiced the last couple of days, and obviously we're going to see how Wednesday. This is a big day for us. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday go, but he has practiced on Monday and Tuesday.
Martin Andrews?
He's been in and out the last 2 days.
What is he dealing with?
You had Greg Dulcich caught a touchdown pass. Is he somebody that you might put on scholarship based on his production?
We don't talk about that publicly, so we deal with everything internally. So.
Obviously, practices and games are different, but have you seen some continuity, some consistency in the last 2
Yeah, our
days?
guys are getting better and understanding how to practice. Again, when you got 87 freshmen and sophomores, it's still a young group, so every day is a new day for them. Whether it was their first away game or first home game, which they've gotten a chance to experience both of that, but it's a matter of putting those good days on top of each other. Experience is a huge deal in anything, and I think some of these guys are gaining their experience. There's a lot of on-the-job training going on, and they're taking advantage of it, but you obviously can't manufacture what a game scenario is like because the risk reward's a lot different. You can make a mistake in practice, you just reload and run the play again. You make a mistake in a game, that's a huge deal. So, learning how to deal with those situations is what our players are learning and growing about as a team right now.
When you have a young roster like this, do you have to temper emotions sometimes when you start 0-2?
Yeah, not everything is dramatic, as I think some people kind of put the emphasis on it. We all are beneficial from hindsight, but you don't have the ability to have hindsight when you just got here. So you can't look over. These guys can't say, hey, when we were 0-2 a couple years ago. I mean, they're all new to everything, and everything's new to them. So everything's a new day and a new experience, and they've got to grow from each one of those experiences they have, and that's how we all learn as people. So we go out and try to give it our best effort, and then figure out, was it good enough or not good enough? And if it wasn't good enough, what mistakes did we make, and how do we correct those mistakes?
Marcel Irby came on strongly in the last year, has had 3 carries in 2 games. What's been the difference there?
Excuse me?
Marcel Irby has not had much.
Josh Kelly and Dimitri Felton. He's got 2 kids ahead of him, so that's been the deal there.
What about Matt Lynch? You moved him for more.
Yeah, we got a lot of depth at tight end right now. I
Yeah.
mean, you got Devin Asiasi, you got Jordan Wilson, you got Mike Martinez, you got Matt, you got Greg Dulcich. We've got it's probably our deepest position on our team. So, it's just a matter of we got some quality players at that position. But Matt has played, and his numbers have gone up from game 1 to game 2, and hopefully they'll continue to go up.
Have you addressed the turnovers in practice this week?
Excuse me?
Have you addressed turnovers in practice this
Well,
week?
the turnovers, if you got to look at turnovers from a specific standpoint. So the 2 turnovers that we had on Saturday were protection breakdowns. It wasn't a ball security issue. Dorian is in the pocket and gets blindsided from behind. So he's almost in the process of trying to throw the football. So it wasn't like he was carrying the ball wrong, or we didn't have a good grasp of the football, and we emphasize ball security every single day. So you got to kind of look at the individual, what happened in those individual situations, and then go from there.
For Mike Martinez's fumble, then?
Yeah, he was trying to secure the catch. It was a real good play by the defensive player, and it was a bang play. I don't think if you watch the film, he didn't have an opportunity to secure that catch. He got hit while he was trying to secure the ball. So, it was just a real good play by the San Diego State defender.
Compared to your offense at Oregon, how difficult is the offense here to learn and master for college kids?
I don't I mean, they're two totally different offenses. So, I think that from a learning standpoint and teaching standpoint, I don't think it's difficult to master. It's just a matter of experience and repetition. So anytime when you have some older players, it's obviously a little easier because they've been involved in the system for a while. It's the same thing. You had young players at other places. It's hard for anybody to learn any system. I don't care where you are and what you're playing. If you just got somewhere or you're really inexperienced at it, then that's where that shows up, and that's what we have. I mean, we have a young team, and that's not going to change. So those guys got to keep taking advantage of the reps and learning from every situation that they're put in.
How's the team's confidence right now?
They've been great. I think that's a great thing about youth is, they don't have very long mindsets. Like as the older you get, maybe you dwell on things a little bit more, but they understand it's on to the next opponent, and that's what you really have to have in this game. Every week is a season. We only look at it weekly. Unfortunately, from Ben's perspective, because he's a big picture guy, he wants to know 7-8 weeks down the road. We're 3 days down the road, and really 1 day down the road is let's have a really good Wednesday, and see if we can focus on training really well today, and then we'll take it as it comes. But I don't think it's beneficial to any of those guys to really look down the road or down long term, because it doesn't benefit you. You're wasting your energy on something that's not in your control. So what goes on in week 7, really you shouldn't be concentrating on that when you're in week 3. So week 3, you should concentrate on week 3. And I think young guys probably do a better job than older people with that. So I think we try to always see big picture, but those guys are they're just concerned with the next 2 hours out here on the field. So.
Wait, did you just say we always try to see big picture?
We all do, Ben. We all
Okay.
think like you.
Okay.
That's
You
the
were a
great part about it.
micro
No, we are a micro operation, but
Okay.
you personally and myself, we're all big picture guys, but
Okay.
we have to focus. We can't be lured in by that. You know what I mean? It's like the guys that are lured in by looking at their phone all the time. And put your phone down and enjoy what's going on right now. You know what I mean? So that's what we're trying to get accomplished. Everybody else wants to see what's going on in the future. You're anxious about the future. You're anxious about the future, and you don't want to be anxious about the future. You just want to live in the present. So.
Is that tough for you? Considering...
I've always been in the present guy, so I'm not concerned with what in the past. What you're concerned with is how do I learn from it. And then if you're always anxious about the future, you actually don't enjoy the past. Enjoy the present, and enjoying the present's the fun part. We love practice. We love getting out here and teaching and working with our players, and that's the fun part of it. When you talk to guys about when you're in the off season, what do they wait for? We can't wait for the season to start. So when you're in the season, you're not waiting for the off season to start. You're waiting to just get back out on the field with you guys and play a little football. So.
How much do you like the challenge of having the number 5 team in the country coming to the Rose Bowl?
You like the challenge of anybody you play, and I think again you try to put perspective on things. I don't care who it is. There's not one team we can look forward to. There's not one team we can look past. We're not in that boat, and it wasn't that way either. When I was on teams that were really successful, that were ranked 1 and 2 in the country, we took everybody very, very seriously. The cool part about college football is you get to play 1 game a week. So why would you think about anything else? This isn't baseball where you're playing 162. You get 12 opportunities at this thing. So, we relish the opportunity to play really, really good teams. We played 2 really good teams, and we had an opportunity to play a really good team again this week, and that's the fun part. Our guys, had a great experience when they went to Oklahoma last year. That was a great venue to play in and a great team. You had to play against a Heisman Trophy winner. Those are the things you remember. We played in a lot of games when I was at Oregon. I don't think you remember when you played against some 1AA team and beat them by 60. The guys don't talk about that. They talk about going to Tennessee and winning at Tennessee. You know what I mean? You talk about going to Michigan and winning at Michigan. Those are the games that you kind of relish, and that's what this deal's all about. But when it's Oklahoma coming in, whether they were ranked 5, 15, or 25, it's Oklahoma. So our kids would be really excited about playing against Oklahoma.
Did you feel like you had a talent advantage in those first 2 games?
What's that?
Did you feel like you had a talent advantage in those
I've
first
never
2
looked
games?
at a game from a talent advantage, disadvantage. If you do that, then shame on you. I don't think anybody looks at it when you're coaching as like, oh, we have more talent than them. It never happens that way. If that happens, you're going to get your tail kicked. So I don't think anybody ever has that perspective. That's a bad perspective to have if you're a coach. If you think our talent's better than their talent, because that's not going to happen. Last question.
Defensively, compared to when you saw Oklahoma last year, what differences have you seen with Alex?
It's a whole different scheme. Alex came in and has changed from what they were doing in the past. They were more of a 3-4 operation, and now they're more of a 4-down operation. There's a lot of movement across the front. A lot of the defensive line moves and twists, and they're on the run all the time. I think they're probably playing a little bit man on the back end, but it's a totally different operation. It's a lot similar to what he was doing when he was at Washington State. And that's not what they were doing before. So it's really different drastically different. We didn't watch any of Oklahoma's defensive games from last year just because the whole system has changed. So. Okay.